Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to thank first the authors of this bill, Senators Housley, Senjum, Lopez Franzen, Dzik, and Coleman. And I would like to say thank you to those who have spoken in favor of this bill, especially Senators Pappas and Dibble speaking about other instances of injustices towards other groups such as the LGBT community as well as our Jewish siblings. I would like to speak in favor of this bill, which I recognize as a nonviolent way for us as a state to voice our opposition towards this brutal and unnecessary war, which is a war of choice by the Russian government. Russia now has its military killing its own siblings, Ukrainians, in a land that does not belong to them. I don't believe that this war is being supported by the Russian civilians, as we've seen thousands of Russians take to the streets protesting in a country that does not respect their right to freely protest the actions of their own government. And so for the people of Eastern Europe as a whole, freedom cannot come soon enough. And I also hope that we as a state recognize that while it is easier for us to stand up to our adversaries and rivals on the global stage, that at times it is also much harder for us to stand up to our fellow Americans and allies when they engage in wars and conflicts over land, power, and resources. We know that there are other instances of injustice and conflict globally, such as in Yemen and Palestine, where people who are not governmental actors, but everyday people, nurses, doctors, teachers, mothers, grandmothers, having their lives destroyed by governments with our support. And this is the case of, this is similarly in the case of the genocidal war being taken place in Yemen, the embargo of Gaza, and the military strikes in Palestine that we've seen. And so for the people of Yemen and Palestine also, peace cannot come soon enough. So those are just two examples of senseless violence being supported by American taxpayers, their dollars, and there are many others. This means that there will be many more opportunities for us to come together as a state to take action and to stand by all people facing oppression, violence, bombing, invasion, and occupation that they wish to have no part in. Today, we have the opportunity to say that we as Minnesotans are global citizens, and as their representatives, we will take action to dissent when we see people facing the brutal consequences and the evil choices by governments. So today's about the Ukraine and the actions of Russia, and we will honor that by passing this bill today. But by doing so, we will also send a message that Minnesota is not a bystander to injustice abroad. Minnesota will speak out when we see human rights infringed upon and human lives being treated as collateral damage. So I ask my colleagues to join me in voting for this bill and to work together to make it clear that, that to our constituents, as Minnesotans, that we stand for human rights, not only when it's easy, but in the most difficult times as well. Thank you.